Hello, my name is Mike Chanielitis, and I'm the founder of Cornerbowl Software. In this video, I'm going to show you how to consolidate CSV files to normalized columns in both SQL Server and MySQL, monitor values in a CSV file, and finally create reports. The sample CSV file I'm going to use today was generated by Yahoo Finance and contains historical stock price data. Okay, let's get started. First, let's configure CSV file consolidation. From the menu bar, select File, New. The Create New Object view displays. Expand Template, then Log Management, then select Log Consolidation. The new Log Consolidation view displays. From the Subtype drop-down, select CSV File. 7 tabs display. Use the General tab to configure the schedule to scan the file. For this example, I'm going to leave the default, which is set to daily at 6 a.m. Use the Logs tab to select the log files you would like to consolidate into the log repository database. I'm going to set up the consolidation to ingest all of the stock data through the 17th of December. Then I'm going to configure the consolidation monitor to ingest yesterday's information each day. First, I'm going to select the historical data file. Once you've selected the target log file, click the plus button to add the file to the list of the search criteria. Then I'm going to add the search criteria for the daily data file. If I click the test button and today's file already exists, we can see today's file in the response. However, in our case, we only have yesterday's file. The Read Options tab enables you to define how to read the CSV file. Since we're monitoring files that contain the date in the file name, we need to specify a logical name. The logical name enables the software to save all the CSV files to the same database table. Otherwise, a table will be generated for the historical data file and each day's file. Use the logical file name text box to specify the logical file name. If the file is generated at the end of the day or sometime the next day, check Read Yesterday's File. First, use the Log drop-down to select the daily file. Now, when I click the test button, we can see the top 10 entries in yesterday's file. In this case, there are only 2 lines. The Rules tab enables you to select a consolidation filter, which allows you to filter out line items you are not interested in. Use the Log Entry Retention Policy control to assign the data retention policy. For example, archive CSV entries older than 30 days and remove archived entries older than 120 days, for a total of 150 days. The Columns tab enables you to define each column in the CSV file. To automatically scan the file and load the columns, click Load Columns. The Load CSV Columns dialog displays. If the target file is not found, you can manually select the host the file exists, then the file name using the Browse button. Otherwise, the file contents automatically load. Select the first line that contains the CSV headers. Once selected, the software automatically attempts to define each column. The Key column defines the unique identifier. The Name column defines the display value. The Data Type column defines the data type. If there is no header, you will need to define each key and name. Notice the column CSV Date. This column was renamed because the discovered column name Date is a reserved name used to store the date and time the CSV row is read. When you are finished, click OK. Notice the first zero-based data row is set to 1, skipping the column header. The column size column enables you to define string column widths. The default is 64. The index column enables you to define which columns you would like to create database indexes for. Okay, that's all we need to set up to consolidate to SQL Server or MySQL. Click Close and save your changes. Okay, I went ahead and configured Server Manager to save log entries to SQL Server behind the scenes. Please see our tutorials page on our website to view how to configure SQL Server and MySQL. To immediately consolidate the CSV files we just configured, from the Explorer view, expand Templates. Then expand the new template. Finally, right-click on the host and select Execute Verbose. The monitor status view displays, and we can see the number of entries saved. To view the consolidated CSV file, back in the Explorer view, right-click on either listed file and select View Parsed Entries. The Select Log Viewer Options dialog displays. Use this view to pre-select a viewer filter, paging method, either entries per page or days per page, then finally the initial date. I'm going to leave the defaults and click OK. The Consolidated Text Log Viewer displays. Notice each column is listed in the viewer and you can sort and group by each column. Notice also each message is previewed below each entry. To remove the preview, select View, Preview Message. That's CSV file consolidation. If we take a look at SQL Server Management Studio, we can see the new columns in our table. And if we're using MySQL, here's what the columns look like in MySQL Workbench. Let's take it a step farther and create a monitor so we get notified when the high value exceeds the threshold. You have the option to create a new CSV file monitor. However, since we're already consolidating the CSV file, let's just create a filter, then apply it to the CSV file consolidation template so we're notified the next time the file is downloaded. From the viewer, I'm going to sort by high, then right-click on the highest value and select Filter Selected Entries. The Filter Selected Entries dialog displays. Specify a friendly name, then click OK. The Text Log Filter Properties view displays. Notice CSV files use text log filters. Now let's remove the columns we're not interested in. Once I've deleted the other columns, I can set the threshold I would like to get notified for. I'm going to set the threshold to greater than 349. Click Close and save your changes. If I apply the filter, we can see one result. Now let's apply the filter to the CSV file consolidation template. From the viewer, click the Edit button. The CSV consolidation template displays. Select the Monitor tab, then click the plus button. The Log Monitor view displays. Select the filter we just created, select the action, then click OK. Click Close and save your changes. Now to test it, since we've already downloaded the file, we won't get notified until a new file causes the monitor to trigger. So I'm going to simply delete what we've downloaded and rerun the CSV consolidation template. From the Explorer view, locate the file, right-click, and select Delete. The table is deleted from the database. Next, right-click on the host under the template, then click Execute Verbose. The status view displays and we can see the monitor triggered. If we check our email, we can see the alert. Okay, finally, let's create a weekly report. Select File, New. The Create New Object view displays. Select Report. From the Type drop-down, select Text Log Report. Specify a schedule. Use the Explicitly Assigned Logs tab to select the consolidated log file. Use the Options tab to assign filters. Use the Columns tab to add the CSV columns you would like to include in the report. I'm going to add the 3 columns to the report, High, Low, and Close, with a data type of double. Use the Date Range tab to specify the date and time range to include in the report. Use the Actions tab to assign the actions to fire when the report is complete. Click Close and save the report. From the Explorer view, expand Reports, then right-click on the new report and select View Report. The report viewer displays. Notice the 3 columns we defined are listed. That's CSV file consolidation, monitoring, and reporting with Consolidate Server Manager 2022.